Hey, it's Nikia Nichelle with Chicago Tribune, ChicagoNow.com. I am hanging with my girl, Holly Robinson Peete. She don't even know she's my girl yet. We just found out today. We are BFFs.
Yeah, we are.
I know, right, Holly? We've known each other inadvertently.
Right.
You're like the second person. I was telling Eric Benet the same thing. I'm like, inadvertently, I've already interviewed you like 5 times. We should come over each other's house, do each other's makeup, something.
Well, you feel like you know certain people in the media over the years, especially an old head like me, who's been around for 3 decades, and you just meet people and have natural connections. So thank you for always covering the things that I do.
No, thank you for having me and talking to me. So let's talk today. I don't know where to start because you are always so busy. And I love it. I was just talking to you about how you always bring something of something. Oh, see, that's what sisters do.
I gotta hook you up. Gotta hook you up.
That's what sisters do for one another. Fix each other's hair. But I love the fact that you're always into something. So you've teamed up with OWN.
Yeah.
And you're doing something completely different. Let's talk a little bit about that.
If you told me like 5 years ago I'd be in Chicago 5 years from now talking to you about my reality show, I'd been like, girl, no, I am not doing no reality show. But it's so weird how, you know, the trajectory of career and life and experiences, it's a journey, right?
Right.
When I first saw reality TV, I was all, you know, my fists all balled up because an actress, I was like, oh, they're taking all my jobs. And, you know, I had like this really defensive attitude, but then I sort of got hooked on a few of them. And then I really embraced the genre. I never envisioned myself doing it or my family, but I embraced it. And I feel like there are different types of reality projects. And when we were approached to do this particular show, I thought, you know what? This could work.
Really?
This could work. It's a different type of reality. There's no flipping tables. Nobody's getting busted up that you see on TV. No, I'm just kidding.
She ain't. I hope you're not doing the busting up.
I mean, you know, I'm a little bit stronger of a parent than I think people think I am. But so I'm definitely a disciplinarian. But I just never thought I'd be doing it, but I'm excited for Pete's sake because I feel like we have a platform and some interesting stories to tell.
Well, who's more of a disciplinarian, you or Rodney?
Well, if Rodney were here, he would say he is because he's a structured quarterback. He likes plays. He likes things meticulously done.
Are we going to do a
right,
play to do
slant,
the
left? You know, I mean, he likes specific things, you know, and he likes things to go in order. And when they don't, and it's kind of an audible, if you will, he gets a little frustrated. So he's probably the more like stricter parent, but I think I probably get more upset about things.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is going to really expose your family. Now you've had your family in the light for different reasons, whether it be for causes, you know, speaking about autism with one of your sons. So we've always seen you in that realm. How is it going to feel to be doing this whole reality and really being exposed from everything?
Well, it's not everything. You know, we're executive producers, Rodney and I. Obviously, when you have kids, you have to really watch the kind of content you're putting out. But we share, as you said, we have shared in the past with the public about our personal issues. Rodney and I have no problem telling people we almost got divorced over, you know, having a special needs kid because he was in denial and he was messing me up. I was like, I can't handle and watch him and deal with you and your little needs. Like, you got to get on board with me. So we have shared our experiences, which is I think is a really good thing. But this is different because now we're transitioning. Everyone's transitioning, okay? I just celebrated a milestone birthday. Rodney's about to celebrate his. Mama's about to be 80. Daughter's about to go off to college, you know.
What milestone? 30?
Oh, yeah, right. Whatever. See, that's why I hang out with you. You know, so there's a lot of transition going on. And I feel like the timing is right. It's all about timing.
It is.
10 years ago when we first started to get approached about doing a project like this, there's no way. My kid was 1, my baby was 1. I'm not trying to have him on TV before he can say, I don't want to do that, you know?
Right.
So I think it's a different genre of reality.
So all the kids were kind of collectively on board with this?
Oh, yeah. We sat down and we had a family roundtable, and everyone went around and talked about their fears, their excitement, like what they wanted to do, what they didn't want to do. And we made it a real safe space.
I got a preview of the show, and one thing that really touched my heart was when I saw your son ask you, do I have autism anymore? Like, how do you answer that question? And how does that make, I mean, I almost teared up, and so I can only imagine, like, How do you even explain?
I want to give him hope. And I explained to him early on. A lot of parents, autism parents, say to me, "Well, when do you think the right time is to tell your kid?" I'm like, you can tell him as soon as he can understand that he is different from other kids, because you don't want the kids to tell him, because they have a way of telling him that is not healthy, I think, psychologically. So I've always, from day one, dealt head on with his autism and wanted him to know what autism was and how to handle it and the different types of autism. And now he's become a really amazing advocate.
Okay.
I mean, you saw the event that I came to Chicago for Steve Harvey's foundation, and my son got up there and dropped the mic. He tore the room up just talking about his experience with autism.
Yes, I was so proud of him. I got chills.
Yeah, and it was Dwayne Wade was there and Matt Forte, and he was a rock star for the night. And the reason why is because he's become very articulate in talking about his issues, and it's important to hear from people with autism about autism, because there's always people that ain't got it that are talking about it.
Right.
So that is important. But there are times when he gets very frustrated, especially now that he's trying to get into the workforce. He gets frustrated about the fact that he has it, he's different, like his twin sisters, getting ready to go to college. They've been together since the womb. So we kind of got a reminder that he has this diagnosis. You know what I mean? In some ways, it's like getting the diagnosis all over again. So it's a transition.
Yeah.
But when he asked, does he still have autism? I'm like, yes, you do.
Okay.
I'm not like, no, you don't, son, and you're just like everyone else. No, I'm like, yes, you do. And you process things differently. Like if the police stops you, what are you going to do? Let's walk through that.
That's a good
one.
one.
So I'm very real with him about what autism is and how it impacts his life.
Now, speaking of that issue, stopping for the police and what do you do? Just recently on Blackish, that was one of the really main topics that really caused some controversy or some talk in the media. What do you tell your son to do?
Oh, we role play straight up. I'm the cop and you're walking down the street and this is what happened. What do you do? No, you don't do that. Well, I call my mommy. No, you do not reach in your pocket for a phone. You do everything. Yes, sir. No, sir. So we role play specifically with him because he doesn't process things like a typical kid.
Right.
So if a cop stops him, he might freak out and get scared, which a lot of normal kids do, but he may not do the right thing. And I'm not trying to have no issues and, find out later or explain later that, there was a misunderstanding. So we've taken him to the local police department. We've introduced him. He likes to walk around the neighborhood. He likes his independence.
Right.
And I don't want to steal that from him, but every time he walks out the door, I'm like,
nervous. And is Rodney on board with the same type of thing? Let's role play. Let's get him out there. Let's let him know that there is kind of a cold, cruel world.
Yeah.
I'm about to get tongue twisted.
No, they're right. And we, on the show, you'll see that.
Okay.
We drill him.
Now, I know there's a woman behind me. That's mom, right?
No, that's not mom.
I thought that was mom. I was going to say,
no.
Is that mom? Because I see you get really silly a little bit, and your personality seems to shine.
This lady right here has been my hairstylist for for 30 years.
I just saw the complexion and the light.
We definitely have some shared genes.
It looks like it a little bit.
No, girl, my mama is about to be 80, and she thinks she's 40.
Okay.
And it's quite an issue, and the kids want to try to get her. They want a step grandfather, and so they got her hooked up on Tinder.
Tinder, mom is on
Black
Tinder.
People Meet, and FarmersOnly.com, and they got her hooked up.
Oh my God! And she's going for that.
She is. My mom's a free spirit. She's just she grabbed life and is like, I am in love with life. She's a trip.
She is funny.
She is the breakout star of this show.
That is funny. Well, what's some things that people didn't, as far as your fans go, your personality, maybe some didn't know? I've always thought, you're sometimes hard to read, very mysterious, Holly Robinson.
I am. I don't think of myself as mysterious at all.
No,
but I will
now,
say people are going to be surprised that I cuss.
Really? Mm-hmm. I can see you as a
You could see that?
Yeah.
Okay, well, sometimes people are like, oh my gosh, she cussed. I think people think that
you're the girl next door.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That kind of like a Doris Day mom, you know, and then they hear you like, they're like, oh, Holly Robinson, Peete.
Do you cuss like a sailor?
I have my sailor days.
Okay. What days bring out the sailor moments?
It just depends on any given moment. I mean, when you have 4 kids, there's always some X factor, something going off, something popping off, something crazy. And then there's my husband, we've been together 20 years, but you know how that goes. And so, I do. I probably cuss too much. I probably have to turn that down.
Maybe not. Just be you. That's what
Right.
we'll love to see, is just
Right.
who you are. Now, you speak about the 20 years. How hard is that, being married? And any advice you have for other married couples to keep it strong and keep it going long?
Well, people say marriage is 50-50, but I always say marriage is 100-100. So that means you have to give 100% of your time, 100% of the time. And then there's that margin of error. When you fall off, you pick yourself back up and figure it out. But it is a lot of work. The rewards are amazing when it comes together, but if you don't put that work in, you're not going to get the result that you need. So Rodney and I work very hard in our marriage. We call it same page love. We like to be on the same page at the same time, and then everything is rosy. When we are off pages, that's when the trouble happens. So conscientiously, we have to both decide that we're going to get back on the same page. We also do something called 20-second hugs.
Okay.
So that just means you hug for 20 seconds.
Okay. I think that'll work.
You hug
Even
20 seconds.
in the middle of an argument?
Well, maybe just after.
Oh, okay.
The 20-second hugs during the argument don't really work out.
Okay.
It's just like you want to strangle the
off me.
person, right? Control. But or in the morning, or when you're just leaving, instead of that, okay, see you, all right, deuces. Instead, you just like hug and you connect for 20 seconds.
That's a good idea.
Sometimes it's a long 20 seconds. You're like 19, 20. Good. But it really works because there's some kind of like physical thing that happens after 10 seconds, I think.
I think it is, because we always embrace it, and it's like this uncomfortable, like, okay, it's lasting a little too long, 5 seconds, let's get it over with, and then you get in the moment.
It's
and
physical
really
connection.
Of course.
And especially if you're beeping or if there's some issue and you're not on the same page, that can kind of bring you together.
Okay.
It worked for us.
Yeah, it sounds like it does.
I always feel like that 20-second hug. I feel like more of a 6-second hug. But
and then the rest of the other seconds you punching them or something.
But it works.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
So for Pete's Sake, which is the name of the reality show, that airs on OWN.
Yes.
Getting hooked up with Oprah's. Look at you.
Well,
you're just too fancy.
Well,
for me.
listen, Miss Oprah has always been in our corner. I mean, she's been sort of chronicling my life before I even met Rodney.
Oh, wow.
And then when we had the twins, we were living in Philly because Rodney was playing for the Eagles. Oprah was shooting Beloved. The twins were brand new, and she came to our hotel room and hung out with them and hugged them, and she videoed me on her show pregnant the night before I gave birth. I mean, so she's kind of chronicled.
Kind of like me. Well, I'm making my way, kind of, following in your footsteps of what you're doing. A little bit. I'm nowhere near Oprah status.
No, but I always appreciate, someone that is, that says, hey, how's the twins? And I'm like, they're 18. 18! Like, so you like to go on this journey with people. And especially when you've been working as long as I have, and you've been doing shows in the 80s and 90s, you always feel that connection with people from a different part and era of their lives. So Oprah's been awesome chronicling that, and it's great because she has all this amazing footage which she can use during the show, so it's a good partnership.
Yes, I'm so happy. And what time can people watch the show?
It'll be 9 o'clock, 8 Central.
Okay.
On OWN, March 19th, so Saturday night.
Oh, you are gonna be on my screen.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be fun.
I'm happy for you. And besides the new reality show, you're also doing and working on Chicago Fire.
Yeah.
So that's why we've been seeing you back and forth in the city.
Yes.
Okay.
I love it here. And, the weather has been so interesting. Every time I've come, it's been different weather. Like sometimes it's super cold and other times it's like, really mild and nice. I'm like, what's going on? I never know what to expect. But I do love that. And the other thing that I've been doing that I did is wrote this book.
Oh, yeah. I have the book. Oh, it's over there. This is the book here. Mm-hmm. So tell us a little bit about this book.
Really excited about this book because it's written by myself and my twins, my daughter and my son. They're 18 now. But it's called Same But Different: Teen Life on the Autism Express. And essentially what happens is like the kids grow up. We wrote a great book called My Brother Charlie, which is about, twins, one with autism, one without autism, and sort of explaining what autism is to young people, which keeps the stigma from growing, right? And And so so same but different. Teen Life on the Autism Express is the second part, like what happens when Charlie grows up and Charlie becomes a teenager. Social media, dating, parties, like socially, kids with autism really struggle to connect. So it chronicles that ride. I'm really excited about it.
I think
out,
that's
so go
great.
get it. Go get it.
Yes, go get it. Go get it to all your bookstores. Let's make sure we support you and your journey. I'm so looking forward to you being on the screen and sharing some space with Oprah there.
Yeah. Hey guys, it's Holly Robinson Peete, and every time I'm in Chicago, I love hanging out with my girl, Nakia Nichelle.